Greetings, everyone. P. Pardo here from Comic Book Users. Welcome to another episode of Inside the Cover. Once again, continuing on with the Avengers from 1977, issue number 165. We're going to continue on with the story of Count Nefaria. Got a cover here. Who did this particular cover? I think this is a George Perez cover, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's John Byrne. Either one of the two. Don't know 100%. Maybe someone in the comments will tell us. So here we've got what is the monstrous, mind-staggering new power of Count Nefaria. So you might remember in the last issue, we had the return of the Lethal Legion, right? The Whirlwind, Living Laser, and Power Man, who were assembled by Count Nefaria. They all had renewed, more potent power, but then by the end of the issue, after all these couple battles with the Avengers, their power kind of dissipated. Avengers put the kibosh on them, and now we're going to find out what happened there. And then Count Nefaria shows back up on the scene, and he appears to be more powerful than ever. So this particular issue, Jim Shooter, writer, John Byrne, penciler. This is a couple issue run with John Byrne here. Pablo Marcus on the inks. Denise Wall, letterer, Phil Racci on colorist, and Archie Goodman is the editor. So here, the Lethal Legion lies defeated on the streets near Avengers Mansion, but the Avengers' true battle for survival has just begun. Nefaria's like, I have powers now that dwarf yours. And he's just, and I come here to snuff out your wretched lives. So here he's just laying to waste pretty easily, pretty quickly to the Avengers. As you'll see here. There seems to be no stopping him. Right? Swats the beast away. Wanda does a hex blast. He's kind of fighting that off pretty quickly. Yellow Jacket shows up, blasts him in the eyes. He grabs him really, really quick, and he's like, wow. He goes, how did you catch me so quickly? Impossible. Nobody can move quick enough to. And then just did that. And then, of course, Wonder Man shows up. There's Simon when you need him. Okay. He starts blasting away. He's doing pretty good, actually. And Nefaria's like, oh, you're stronger than I would imagine. But Wonder Man's noticing that not having much of an effect on him. So, of course, he goes to blast him one more time. Nothing happens. And then kaboom. He takes a huge shot, goes flying through a building, or goes flying through Avengers Mansion. There's Jarvis to figure out, Mr. Simon, Mr. Williams, what's going on? He's like, oh. He's like, and here you start to see some doubts in Wonder Man. We've seen this quite a bit, where he says things. He goes, if you can get us any help, get it, and check the power. I may have damaged the house system on the way in. And of course, the power system, for those who remember a couple issues ago, in their battle with Ultron, the Vision got most of his power depleted. So they've got him in some kind of like tank trying to get his power back up to levels that it needs to be at. So that was in issue 161 and 162. So Jarvis, of course, goes and he checks on the Vision, and to see kind of where he's at, right? If only you can hear me, sir. They need your help. Hopefully you're almost at max power capacity. But again, I mentioned here about Wonder Man thinking to himself how he's all of a sudden scared in certain battle situations and doubting his powers, right? And whether the fact that he can be a good member of this team. Remember Zagnuts? Clark Coconuts? I used to love these things when I was a kid. I don't eat any of this stuff anymore, but do they even make this stuff anymore? I don't know. Zagnut was really... Anything with coconut, I've always been a fan of. All right, so then we go back to the battle, and Cap and the Beast toss the shield, Cap's shield at Nefaria. He quickly, because he's got the... So here's the deal. I'll lay it on the line now. The reason why he is so uber powerful now is because basically the scientists that work with Nefaria, they have sapped the powers and the strength of the three villains in the previous issue. So, of course, Power Man, the Whirlwind, and the Living Laser, in addition to Nefaria's own powers. And now he is like bursting with all their powers in his own. So that's kind of why their power all of a sudden got sapped in the last issue. And they were easily defeated after the second battle. And now he's coming in here and he's just unstoppable. So he's got the speed of the Wizard. He's got the power of Power Man. And he's got all the laser stuff, whatever, shooting out, whatever, of the living laser. So here he quickly sees at the back, almost like in the back of his head, he sees the shield coming, grabs that, tosses it away, although he's upset that he can't break it, right? And here you see he's just basically tossing these guys around like nothing, right? Lifts up an entire building, throws it down on the heroes. So Wonder Man's trying, because Wonder Man, of course, is strong as hell. He's trying to hold the building up, but kaboom, it goes down, and of course Nefarious like, they're dead. I did what needed to be done. And you got a somewhat mysterious red-headed guy in sunglasses who's kind of hanging around the scene. Everybody's watching this as it's going on. Nefarious is like, this is awesome. I killed them all. Then, of course, who shows up on the scene? The Wizard. Old man that he is. So he tries to do what he's got to do. But Nefarious is like, you old man. You got nothing here. I'm going to let you live, though, but I can kill you in a second. So then, of course, who shows up? Iron Man. It's taken him a while. So he goes to blast out of the rubble his teammates. Here we got Avengers Assemble. There's Howard the Duck. So as it turns out, they kind of were hiding in a hole under the building. Wonder Man was still holding up the building. But of course, they're puzzled as to why it takes him so long. Where is you? You're supposed to be the leader of this team. Where have you been? So we were wondering when you'd show up. Yellowjacket and Wanda managed to blast out this foxhole for us. That's Cap. And I've been holding the rubble over our heads like a roof. I would have tried to shove it away, but I was afraid it might cave in if I moved. Good thing Wendy doesn't ever seem to tire, right? So apparently the police picked up the Lethal Legion guys. So what do we do now? Well, all of you did your part. Now it's my turn to take a stab. That's Iron Man. Yellowjacket says, what? Sprained arm or not, you're not leaving me behind, pal. This is a team. Is it, Yellowjacket? I wonder, says Cap. There's issues between Cap and Iron Man right now. Look, you guys have just been through the ringer. All I want to do is, and Cap says, I was going through ringers while you were still in cast iron short pants, Tin Man. I don't need you protecting me. And then Wanda comes in. Nor do I, Iron Man. Cap is right. We fight together. We'll follow you through the gates of hell, but you've got to lead us. Wanda, I only meant lead us, Iron Man, or step down. And then, of course, as he says that, in bursts Nefaria. Because, you guys are not dead. All the better. We'll fight again. So then Iron Man steps up first. Of course, he says, I'll jump back in. And the other guys are like, we're supposed to be doing this as a team. So once again, there's lots of issues going on here with leadership and whatnot. So Iron Man seems to be having a little bit of luck here against Nefaria. But Nefaria bounces back. Snap it to a Slim Jim. Oh, yeah. The Beast. So now they started attacking as a team. So the Beast attacks from behind. Black Panther attacks from front. Nefaria overpowers them. Scarlet Witch jumps in. Iron Man comes back in. Two of them start battling. So Iron Man's doing pretty well here. But meanwhile, Wonder Man is sitting off on the side. He's like, so he goes, Iron Man almost did it. Nefaria was staggered for an instant. If I had struck just then, we might have beaten him. But I stood here, watching, afraid. I failed Iron Man, failed the Avengers. So Wonder Man's a lot of doubts about himself right here. But he says, I got to do something. So he jumps in, starts pounding away. So the battle continue on with Nefaria and Wonder Man. There's Cap. Now, of course, Nefaria overtakes Wonder Man. And he keeps asking, where's Thor? I want someone who can stand up to me. Where's Thor? Where's Thor? And, be careful what you ask for, because then lightning shows up. Thou hast dared much, villain, and verily thine hour of judgment hath come. Guess who's on the scene? The Mighty One. Thor is here. To be continued. Right? So this is actually a jam-packed, battle-worthy couple of issues here against Count Nefaria. These are really, really good. So that is issue number 165. Stay tuned in just a couple days for issue number 166. The climax of the battle of Count Nefaria, now with all sorts of extra powers, thanks to his scientific friends, right? So let us know what you think of this issue. If you haven't had it, haven't read it, go check it out. There's lots of good stuff in here. Great, all nonstop battling these couple issues. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for issue number 166, and then we got more stuff coming up with Wild Bill and myself, more craziness from the dynamic duo. So until then, see you soon. Please do hit the like button before you leave. I am Pete Pardo. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.